This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach, chapter 12, verse 10. And it reads, "Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away." Shalom. I want to say all praise to the Most High Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone, pushing this doctrine of truth to the nation of Israel, who was scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, pursuant to the curses of Deuteronomy. Alright, so I wanted to do a quick lesson, or land back, on a lesson about the jab. I'm trying to choose my words wisely, alright, for obvious reasons. But the devil, Esau Edom, has been launching a rather aggressive campaign to use Israelites to enlist, or how should I say, he's enlisted the help of Israelites to encourage the common Israelite, if you will, to consider taking the jab. Alright, so he's been using celebrities. In this case, Bill Russell, former NBA All-Star, one of the greatest centers to ever play the game. Okay, now granted, this is over 40 years ago, so he's not the celebrity that he once was, but nonetheless, he's still a celebrity, and he's an influential personality. Okay, enough to maybe convince people who were on the fence about receiving the jab to go ahead and get it. Okay, especially people around his age or a little younger, right? People that know the history of this guy, because they're going to assume that if he's willing to put his trust in the system and the Esau Edom's wicked jab plan, then everybody else should do it, right? This is the reason they enlist the help of these celebrities, especially with Jace, with you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, okay? Because for many decades, sports figures and actors and actresses and singers have been very strong influencers in our communities, okay, for a very long time. Okay, so much so that these devils know that they can capitalize on the celebrity of you Israelites by enlisting your help to help them forward their agendas, okay, whether good or wicked. In this case, it's wicked. We know it is, right? This is why they're so desperate at trying to get celebrities to help them out, right? Help us step up and then do the right thing and get the jab, right? That's sarcasm, and I hope you can detect that in my voice. But anyway, let me go ahead and play this video. It's very short, but it's worth watching nonetheless, because you can see the lengths that this desperate devil is taking to carry out his agenda. Okay, so without further ado, here it goes.
I just arrived to get my COVID shot, and this is one shot I will block.
Gratitude to a great pop for a courageous effort.
No subjects were harmed during my shot. Let's do this together.
Let's not and say we did.
Visit CDC.gov.
You coon. Boy, these Negroes are something else. That's it. That's all I wanted to show. That's all I could tolerate. Even if it were longer, I would have cut it. Alright. So, you saw it. He was videoed getting the jab. Okay. You heard him say that no Celtics were harmed during the process of him getting his jab, and I'm paraphrasing here. Okay. And something that they probably told him to say to make people feel more comfortable with getting this thing, right? Because there's a lot of skepticism behind receiving this jab, and for good reason. I mean, hell, look at their track record. Look at the Tuskegee experiment. Look what those devils did. Okay? If those of you who are unaware of that experiment, that wicked, evil, sociopathic, psychopathic experiment conducted by the U.S. government from the 1940s to the early 1970s, they took syphilis and injected it into unsuspecting African Americans, males, okay, about 400 to be exact. And they also did a similar thing in Guatemala, which they're Israelites as well down there in Guatemala, okay, much of South America and Central America and what have you. But I think it was gonorrhea, okay, down there. But they did the same experiment, and it was just basically done to evaluate the outcomes of these infected subjects without penicillin as the cure to eradicate the bacterial infection. All right, so rather than giving them the cure, which was penicillin, okay, they decided to withhold treatment and allow these men, these Israelite men, to suffer, okay? And they didn't even know that they were infected with syphilis, okay? Ultimately, syphilis destroys you, it kills you, okay? You develop a lot of neurological complications, it travels to the brain, and ultimately it kills its host, okay? So you ultimately die because you're infected from this lethal bacteria, this potentially lethal bacteria, okay? So anyway, with that said, many of our people are very, very reluctant to get this jab for that reason, okay, and that reason alone, okay? But many of us just know the devil. We know his characteristics, and we know that he hates us, and he's up to no good always when it's concerning Israelite men, women, and children. All right, the Northern Tribe, you so-called Indians or Native Americans and Latinos, firsthand when they arrived here as pilgrims. Okay, shortly after arriving here, they started handing out infected smallpox blankets, okay, which killed literally millions of Israelites. Okay, and they did that with the sole purpose to kill, essentially commit mass genocide of the Northern Kingdom. All right, you Native Americans, you so-called Native Americans and Latinos. But that was a part of their plan. They literally intended to wipe out the entire nation of Native Americans and Latinos with those infected smallpox blankets. Okay, if that's not evil, if that's not wicked, I don't know what is. All right, but for some reason, you guys still have a soft spot in your hearts for these demons. Okay, enough, so much so that you're willing to acquiesce and receive the jab. Okay, knowing full well it means you absolutely no good. Okay, it's okay, because a hard head makes a soft ass, and you're gonna learn the hard way that these devils don't mean you any good. Okay, because they're the devil and they hate you. They have absolutely no love for you. All right, anyway, I didn't want to make this long. I hope it was edifying. I want to say all praise to the Most High Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Never trust thine enemy, okay? He was your enemy 2,000 years ago. He's your enemy today, all right? He hasn't changed. Has the same characteristics and attributes, all right? And at the top of the list, all right, his hatred for you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans runs deep, and it's more intense, okay, more than ever before, all right? And that's by design. Anyway, with that said, Shalom.